Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today I was looking forward to reviewing Broadway Limited's GS4 Southern Pacific 4435 in the daylight scheme. Upon filming my review, I was quickly let down by the amount of mechanical issues with this locomotive. Don't get me wrong, the detail work, lighting, and sound is great, but if the locomotive doesn't function correctly, it's a problem to me. It's hard to believe a locomotive with a nearly $600 price tag coupled with such a long delay from the factory would result in this. The first issue I noticed with this locomotive was that it was constantly derailing. This was actually due to driver number 3 and the fact that it doesn't actually seat on the track. It kind of floats above it, so as you go around turns and turnouts, it tends to pop off the track, which leads to derailments or shorts, which is definitely not acceptable because it seems to happen quite often. The second issue that I've found in this locomotive, this is in regards to the speed control. As the load compensation is applied, the locomotive kind of senses any drag. It just decides to violently lurch forward, and then it slows down. This usually leads to derailments in the cars, uncoupling. It's something that I have not seen with any Broadway Limited engines. As you can see, I have FEF 844 right behind it. That's also a Paragon 4 locomotive. I don't seem to have any of those kind of symptoms with that engine, nor any of my other engines that I have from Broadway Limited. But this is definitely a problem. The third issue I've noticed with this locomotive is due to the driver springing. It does seem to be more rigid than the FEF before it. There is absolutely no play with the drivers, as the FEF seem to have a little bit of movement with each of the drivers compared to the locomotive itself, where the daylight GS4 just seems to be very rigid and doesn't seem to compensate for any movement whatsoever. Overall, I've got to say I'm pretty disappointed in this locomotive, especially for the price point and the delays and everything else that was involved with it. And I usually don't say this with Broadway Limited models. I think they're pretty great. I have dozens of them, but unfortunately I don't think this one actually makes the cut. I think there wasn't enough development, just too many mechanical problems. The fact that it won't even make it around the layout without derailing is a huge concern to me, and quite frankly, it's to me not worth the money. And I probably would give this locomotive 2 out of 10. The only saving grace would be the detail, the lights, and the sound. Sound does seem to be repetitive. I believe my FEF has the exact same sounds to it, minus the whistle. Unfortunately, I hate to mislead anybody into buying something that they're not going to be happy with. I have noticed a lot of online reviews, and people that have received this locomotive have stated they've seen a lot of derailments, and I hope that this helps you make the choice on what kind of locomotive you want to buy and what you want to spend your money on. Thank you for watching.